I'm all fired up now. Now I'm all fired up. Now I'm all fired up. I'm fired up now. Yeah, I'm all fired up. I'm fired up now. I'm all fired up now.
Oh, no more this time to fire up, or no more Fairy Tail, the madness which is Fairy Tail is over. It's done. I'm sorry, guys. This was the best thing I've heard in a long time. Now, because I heard news were coming out saying, oh, Fairy Tail's going to be adapted to the last animated series. At least Fairy Tail got the last animated, their last manga chapter got animated because fucking Bleach didn't get that. That's bullshit. Anywho, Fairy Tail ended and I read the last volume. Now you're probably saying, oh, you were never a Fairy Tail fan. You only just read the volume to get views or something. No, I'm reading it because once upon a time I was a fan. Now, I do read the ending. Like, I read the ending for Naruto. I kind of left and I came back. But funny thing, look, I came back from Naruto like towards like the last, let's say, 5 to 7, 8 months. Bleach the same way too. And One Piece, I come and go in that one. I'm more into One Piece back and forth on that one. You know, I'm behind a little bit because the fucking volume is just too much. Anywho, back to this. This one I never came back to. I left and never looked back. And never looked back. Fairy Tail never won me over as much as Bleach and Naruto and the big three did. At one point when it first started, I said, oh, this is pretty cool. The animation was dope. Natsu as a character was annoying, and it came off very well. And this is from the anime. Eventually I started reading the manga, and I said, okay, this is pretty okay. And the guy who did Raidmaster did this too, which I was a fan of Raidmaster. I thought Raidmaster was a very underrated series. I said, oh, great, yeah, I'll give it a chance. However, the author likes to troll motherfuckers, and he doesn't really take depth with his character. Like for him, I really didn't like his style. Due to fact, now let's not kid ourselves. Lucy, Erzurum, the female characters were beautiful as hell. The big boobs and everything. Look, he knew exactly what he was doing when he made Fairy Tail with the females. However, the problem with Fairy Tail, it lacked story, it lacked development, it lacked character growth. Some characters were still the same. Like towards the end, when I read like the last volume, Natsu seemed like the same Natsu where he was from episode 1 I saw him. And then they have a time skip. Ezra seemed like the same Ezra I saw. Now, a lot of people said Bleach and Naruto, they all did time skips and we figured out who was going to get up with who. Now, from this chapter, from the end of the chapter, Ezra ended up with old boy Gerard, well, what's his name? Jared, who cares? The villain, the so-called villain, and eventually he was turned to a hero, which was bullshit, whatever. You know, because when I first saw it, I thought Ezra was going to end up with either Gray or fucking Natsu. Now, a lot of people say, oh, no, they're brother or sister. I said, oh, well, they can go past that, you know, but that's who I thought she was going to end up with. Hell, someone even said Lacus. I thought she was going to end up with Lacus. I said, yeah, that's not a bad pairing. That's not a bad pair. I would like to see those two together. But eventually she didn't. She ended up with that old Jamoke. I'm like, he's a tool. Then Natsu and Lucy had that one moment, and I was like, okay. Now, the best thing in this whole thing was, I think the dude's name, the villain name was Zareth. Him and old chick, that was the best moment in that whole fucking manga. That last chapter. That was the best thing I saw in that whole fucking manga. Matter of fact, if I put it throughout the video, you'll see it. That was the best thing in that whole manga. The best. I looked at that and said, that looks like something I would never expected to ever happen. So from what I gather, he's reincarnated. So I didn't read the last other chapter. Like I said, a lot of people told me stay the fuck away from Fairy Tail. These last few chapters, they're saying me stay the fuck away. Because I heard it was coming to. I said, okay, well, let me check it out. Because I usually do it with Bleach and Naruto. They told me stay the fuck away from this. I said, okay. But that was actually pretty cool because they've been trying to get this motherfucker for the past how many years? And it was nice to see that. And from what I gathered, was he Natsu's brother and stuff? I don't know, because I left the whole, like I said, I left. And people comment below, yeah, they hate this. Shut the fuck up. Look, I just came back towards the end, so shut the fuck up. So, yeah. That looks like her, I don't know. But not soon. But anywho, back to this. Just it felt you know how Bleach and Naruto, hell, even One Piece will have this. It felt like you don't want it to end. You want like, can y'all continue a couple more chapters? Like, can y'all continue it more because you don't want it to end because you love the characters so much. You love Bleach characters, even though Bleach has a lot of downs. You love the characters. You love Aiza. You love Ichigo. You love Rukia. You love Big Titty Orihime. You love Ging in that motherfucker, even though Ging died. But you love majority of these characters. And Kapachi. One, Naruto. You love Naruto. Everyone loves Sasuke. You love Madara. You want these characters. You want to see more of these characters. You want to see my guy do his shit again like he did against Madara Uchiha. But for Fairy Tail, it's like, this is it? This is all? But maybe because I'm not a big fan of it like those others too, so probably that's a big thing. When it ended, I felt kind of like, okay. You know, some people want to give it credit where credit's due because they read it for so long. They did have moments where Fairy Tail had some good moments with God. I was watching one review, and he was telling me one good moment about Fairy Tail, and I sat there, I was like, that's it? That's all? That's the best moment? My God, Naruto and Bleach have better moments than this shit. Bleach has the fucking, when Aizen fucking turned on the Soul Society, you have Madara Uchiha taking out the fucking majority of the ninjas in that fucking one-on-one fight he did. You have fucking, and this is just the villains. You have Naruto finally going Sage mode. You have Naruto taking on Pain. You have my guy going ape shit crazy on fucking Madara, saying Madara called him the strongest in the world. You have fucking Aizen fucking killing Ging. You have fucking Ichigo going full hollow. You know, there's so many moments where between these two animes I could think of at the top of my head where Fairy Tail, there wasn't a moment. Because every moment was always either it was overshadowed, or I won't say overshadowed, it was exactly like the same other moment that you forget about it, or it just wasn't impactful enough. The villains were, like, the Fairy Tail villains for me were horrific. They were just trash. I just hated them because every time they were a villain, they either joined the guild or they did something in a way. Just, there was never a good villain other than Zeref. And what's the other dude? Academy or that Blue Dragon, whatever, that other villain. I heard people talk great things about him. But when it came to other villains like Lacus and the rest of those dudes taking on the guild, they were trash. They were fucking trash. And I'm not trying to come out here and say, oh, well, you're not a fan, you don't know it. It's just, it was the same shit, regurgitated shit over every arc. It was, Fairy Tail had bad writing. It just had a bad writing. And I can finally say, it is done. He even said, I thanked the fans for 10 years. I said, woo, I'm getting old. Because when I saw 10 years, I was like, damn, it's been out that long? And I thought about it, I said, yeah, shit, I hated that. Someone asked me, since Fairy Tail's over, would you rewatch the anime again? What I'll do is go to a website, pull up all the fillers, and go straight to the main arcs. And I'll probably watch it one day. One day when I'm old and I have nothing else to watch, I'll sit there and watch Fairy Tail and do a re-review in my house. And I'll do a review on it. And my opinion might change. But again, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. That series just had a lot of problems. It had a lot of fucking problems. But again, that's just me. It's my opinion. And here's the thing. If you were a fan of Fairy Tail, you're on my channel. If you're new to the channel and you're a fan of it, and you're hating my video because I put the madness is over, Fairy Tail is over, because I'm going to put a title on this like this. Don't take it to heart. I just was not a big fan of Fairy Tail. It didn't win me over. Now, I tried at first. At first, it had promise. But, like everything, can you keep it up? Now, I'll say this about Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail didn't dive off like Bleach did it after episode 60. Bleach just went downhill afterwards there. For some people. For me, it didn't because I wanted to see Aizen because I became a fan of Aizen. For Fairy Tail, I wanted to see where they were going. And it seemed like they never grew as characters. I never liked it. But the creator of Fairy Tail was like, oh, watch me do something else. And I said, please, if you do anything else, just learn from your mistakes with Fairy Tail. Because he made Raymaster look like a masterpiece to this shit. And Raymaster was underrated. I didn't think it was the best thing on the planet, but it was very underrated. Anywho, that's my thoughts on it. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Please don't take my opinions to heart. It's just my opinions. I didn't think Fairy Tail was that all great. But I will do a review on it. Why? Because I did watch the anime. I did read the manga here and there. Do I think it's the best thing on the planet? No. It's over. It's done. And there's nothing else to talk about it. So, move on, Black. Move on. Time for some Black Clover.